Freakum Dress by Beyonce has no business not being in Bridgerton. Because can you imagine it? The girl walks in. She locks eyes with everyone in the room. She leaves Queen Charlotte for last. Bam. The song starts to play. She has a feather atop her head. She's in her Sunday best. She starts frolicking. The power that she would command. Give her the diamond of the season, right there. No, but seriously, I really can't explain the chokehold that this show has on me, because every 2 years they'll take a little hiatus. They're working on the next season. I think I'm over it. And then they start doing the promotions and I'm like, oh god, I'm not over it. I need to be there. I want to go to the ball. But this is probably the closest I'm gonna get. I can't really say this is a tutorial, but I sure as hell did try to make it one, including doing this screen recording where I show my process. I'm basically just trying to show you what's going on in my head because I had no idea how I was going to tackle this. To me, the waistcoat, the tailcoat, I don't even know what it's called. That was the most intimidating part. I wanted it to feel like something a Bridgerton would wear. And you'll have to let me know how I did. But I hope you enjoy this video, and if you like, consider subscribing, consider following along, because there will be a part 2. Alright, so this is a Fiero doll, and as you can tell, I'm a little overwhelmed with the idea of having to make a miniature tailcoat, but I think I can sort of use this as a blueprint, and I'll just be getting the measurements, probably make it a little bit bigger. I think what's confusing me the most is the collar, because it's so large. Now, I think this is a good example where you see how this bit of fabric was obviously cut from this, with this panel here, and then the collar ends here, right? So the actual collar is velvet, so I can create like a hexagon of velvet, and that would be the collar. However, I also have to include larger like flaps, like it has to, I mean, and I think that makes sense because the jacket is not going to end here. It's going to keep going over, well, I think reverse, but it's going to keep going over. So then what I'll do is, once it's all sewn, because it's going to be larger than his body, god, I suck at explaining, it's going to fold over like this, and then you're going to bring it down like that, and then sew it in place, kind of like how this is sewn, so that it keeps the illusion. He has a waistcoat, he has a undershirt, like a white undershirt, and he also has a scarf. So all of these details need to be taken into consideration when making the outer layer. God, I forgot the word for it. The waistcoat. But yeah, I'm gonna try to create some kind of pattern using this, and then we'll see how that goes. It's gonna be a little bigger, but I think that's okay because I do need to account for seam allowance. So it's just gonna be, you see, slightly over. It should, in order to, oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing. I think like maybe something like that, and then maybe this is too long. I don't know. Actually, I can know. Okay, wait. So it does go like to mid. This is a little long, but we can play with that. Okay, instead of just trying to figure out how this is gonna work, because there's just too much fabric to fold over, I think I'm going to improvise. The collar is gonna stop right here. So maybe we make a little note of that, just so that who's we, by the way? I don't even know. And I'm gonna make it a little bit longer here, but this ending part needs to take into consideration the beginning of this. Like, these two pieces need to line up. So I have a feeling I might want to make it longer than I intend, because I have no clue how this is going to work. So I'm going to line this up again and just make sure that this is like following that same line. So I think what I'm going to do here is just get a measurement for the sleeve, and then maybe test it around the doll to see if it's good enough, right? And I think it'll be good enough for reals, what the hell am I saying? That was so dumb. I think it'll be good enough. Like, just, oh my god, that's so crooked. But that's okay, because it needs to taper in. Okay, so I picked up this fabric a while ago, and really the only thing I was looking for was a fabric that was the right color and was also thin. This fabric is the right color, but it's insanely thin. Like, it's basically see-through. I think if I double it, it's still very thin and malleable, and that should work. However, it does fray a ton, so I'm gonna try this fray check in order to keep those threads from coming undone. The next fabric I have is this beautiful, gorgeous velvet. And what's good about this is that it doesn't fray, so I won't have to worry about that. Okay, she's not clean, but I'm okay with it because really I just need to cut this out and fray check it. If you like this video and you enjoy my ramblings, or I don't know. I have a hard time even believing people enjoy things I make, so I'm gonna have to get over that because I'm sure that's so annoying to hear. But if you do enjoy it, like, feel free to subscribe. I am deeply passionate about everything I do, and I also am a people pleaser, so if you ask me to make something, there's a good chance I will do it. I need to figure out something else to do with this fabric because there's no way I have all this and this is what I'm gonna end up doing. But yeah, okay, so this is the collar. I'm gonna flip it over. I ended up folding it in half and then cutting along the fold, so when I undo this, it's going to look like a hexagon, like a very, very long hexagon. Oh, it's a little crooked. Okay. So it's a little bit big on the back. We'll see how it fits once all the pieces are sewn together. And then obviously he's gonna have sleeves. But even with the back, like, you can always sew like a tiny little dart there to kind of help with that. I think the only thing is really trying to get this coat to kind of have that shape to it, and I think by pinning it forward it can do that, but we'll see. I just kind of create a rectangle and I sew it like this, and then I'll go back and cut this. Okay, so at this point I don't know, I've lost it, but I added these darts. I think they look okay, and now I'm going to draw out a line that roughly gets to the length of the collar. Okay, actually I changed my mind. I'm only doing one layer. It's getting too complicated. Alright, it's a mess. I feel so tired, but here's the progress, if you can even tell. Okay, so here's the update on the doll. I made an undershirt. This is temporary, but I really just needed to see like how that was gonna look. I did add, this is so precious. You can't even see that. I did add these teeny tiny little buttons, and I'm so excited to add them on the actual front of the thing. But before I do that, I need to make sure that these clothes can actually fasten. Okay, the last step in his top wardrobe is to cut an ascot. I tried to cut it and it was really ugly. You know what okay, hold on. Now I'm annoyed. Wait a minute, girl, what are you doing? Okay, that kind of did something. And then it can, no, huh, okay, I'm confused. Red light, green light, 1, 2, 3, okay, I think that might be too small. These buttons just keep moving around, but I swear they're straight. My God, I just need to remove this. My God, I don't want to. What the hell? This is crazy. They got this boot glued onto Fiero. Maybe if I pop it out. Okay. Okay, welcome back. If you took a break, I hope it was restful. I did not rest because I'm still making this damn outfit. I'm going to utilize the clothes that he came with in order to make his outfit. So I'm just gonna like take you through my internal monologue. This is more or less his exact size. Okay. Do we call dolls by proper nouns? Sometimes I do. It's 2 panels, which I would imagine you can kind of get a sense of that by doing this, and then we trace that, and then we cut on the fold. We just do that. And then we're gonna do this twice. Normally, you want to make sure that you're cutting on the right side. But in this case, it doesn't matter because both sides of the fabric are identical. Identical. God. One thing to note, I'm not an expert in these things, but learn from my mistakes and just keep in mind like where the stretch is on your fabric. So mine has a 4-way stretch, so it stretches this way and it also stretches this way. But if you're planning on making pants like this, make sure that the stretch is across just so that the body can fit and it can fit around it, because if it stretches this way, like it'll be long but it may not be able to pull against the body, just in case the measurements aren't perfect. Okay, and this is what the piece looks like once it's cut. So I'm just gonna do that one more time and then we'll put it together, pin it, get it ready for sewing. It's essentially just right and left side. I decided to use the shiny side of the fabric and leaving the dull side to the inside. So essentially we're going to sew along this edge first. Then we're gonna come to the other side and we'll do the exact same thing. And once that's done, we're gonna end up with a tube of fabric. And then we're gonna put the seams together and it's gonna start looking like a pair of pants. And we're gonna sew along the inside. So if I can make that a little cleaner for you, for anybody who's curious. This is my process. One thing I like to do is pull the strings in the back, especially for miniature clothes, because they can get lost in the sewing machine. And don't be afraid when you're sewing to just take it really slow. Okay, that's not the most flattering look, but oh my god, it looks terrible. Anyways, it's inside out, obviously, but you can tell that it's a little bit big, so I'm just gonna pinch it in the back and sew it a little tighter than I expect. It's okay if the pant leg is a little loose because that does give more of that trouser look. Is it gonna look good? Quien sabe? Again, we just need them to fit. This is not the best angle, and don't even worry about these buttons, okay? They move around a lot, I know. But I think that this is fine. I like the shine too. I think it looks good with the blue. Okay, so finally we have a semi-completed Fiero doll. Again, don't pay attention to the buttons. I swear they're good. They just move. Anyways, I'm debating if I use the Fiero shoes. I can just paint these boots black. So this is your almost finished Fiero. I need to work on his hair next. Not Fiero, sorry. The almost finished Anthony Bridgerton. I need to work on his hair, just make it like a chestnut brown. Probably just gonna paint it to match the rest of it. And there you have it. Honestly, shout out eBay for having all the dolls you could want. I had no idea they made a Simone Ashley doll until I started looking for it and looking for a face. And this is pretty perfect. I think they did an incredible job getting her likeness. So I'm so excited to turn her into Kate from Bridgerton so that I can finally complete my Kate and Anthony dolls. If you're interested in following along, subscribe, follow. I also have other videos that I've posted, other doll projects, and I have plenty more coming up, so if you're interested, subscribe. I know I said that like 5 times already, but really, like, any support is appreciated. And yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Bye!